Hello everyone, I'm back with another video, and in today's video we have a Lenovo laptop. This is a Lenovo ThinkPad model P16s, which say right over here. And this one is an iCore 7 CPU. They do get shipped out with an AMD CPUs too. This is a Gen 1. It says right here on the bottom is a magnesium, I guess is a magnesium power material. ThinkPad P16s Gen 1. Right. And in this video, I'm going to take you on a step-by-step how you can open it up and how you can do your own cleaning, servicing, maintenance, and repaste and lubrication of the cleaning of the fan system. You should be doing this once every couple of years, or at least a year, depending how heavily you use this one and the condition where the laptop is being used. If you are in the office where there's lots of dust, or you just feel like it's overheating and the heat is not pushing out from here, these vents, then you might want to do your servicing to don't wait for it to just burn down. All right, let's go over the tools that I'll be using. Just remember, by doing your own servicing and maintenance, you're not going to lose any files or anything in the window. Everything will be left the way that you had it before. Just pretty much power it on and keep using it. So there's no backup needed for this service job. Tool number one is a good screwdriver set. I'll recommend you guys to have the iFixit screwdriver set, as these are one of the best screwdrivers out there. I purchased myself the basic tool set. If you get the Pro tool set, they will give you an opening tools and some tweezers and stuff like that. But for me, I'll purchase this basic tool set. For the opening tools, I highly recommend that metallic guitar picks. These are really suitable to opening cases and covers. You will need a plastic or wooden spatula. That will be handy to have. A curved or straight tweezers, again, is good. Next is a very important one, is an isopropylic or isopropylic alcohol, 98 or 99%. You don't want anything lower than that. Otherwise, it's going to contain more water, and that's bad for electronics. Next, you need 1 sheet or 2 sheets of the workshop towel. And most people always ask me in the comment area, they're like, can I use a microfiber towel? I will say no. The reason is because as soon as you put an alcohol on this towel and you try to clean up the components on the board, this will get ripped apart super easy and will prevent damaging on the motherboard. So always use a workshop towel. And you will need a used or new soft toothbrush to clean the fan fins. And the thermal paste. The thermal paste that you're going to be using is up to you 100%. I'll recommend you guys to go with an Arctic MX6. And those are really good. MX4s, I have a whole bunch here. I'm still going to use MX4, but there's a MX6 is the new one, is much, much better. And they're cheap. Or you can go with any other one, NH1 or Thermal Right. If you want to go overkill, go with Thermal Grizzly, Extreme. And or if you want the same one that they put from the manufacturer, they put something called a PTM 7950. This is the phase change thermal paste. They come like a sort of pad. They're really, really thin. As soon as you put it, just melts down with the heat. So you can go overkill with a PTM. But again, you put an MX6, it will give you the same result. And after a year, you want to replace it anyway. So I don't necessarily recommend it for these models. I'll be using this one right here. And with all that said, let's get into it. First thing first, you need to grab your screwdriver with a Phillips number 1, bit number 1. And all these screws, they have something called a C-lock. The C-lock will prevent the screw coming out entirely. So all you need to do is to unscrew it. And then you feel like, okay, it's pretty much loosened up right there and it's not coming out. So you don't need to yank it up. If by any reason you have yanked it out completely, just push it back in. Not a big deal. So go ahead, go all around it, even in the middle one, just go unscrew it, just do a few hundred turns. And once it becomes loose, let it go. Keep doing this for all the screws. Again, I hope you guys like this video and help. If you guys find my videos helpful and helping you guys out, you can support the channel by clicking the like and subscribe. I'll greatly appreciate it. It helps and motivates me to make more videos, take requests, and answer your questions in the comment area. I appreciate that. All right, now that we loosen up all the screws, you're going to grab the opening tool. You're not going to start from the bottom side. We're going to start from the back corner. And I'll explain why. From the back corner, we're going to put the guitar pick in there and we're going to twist it upward. I'm sticking about 1 or 2 millimeters of the guitar pick, not the whole thing. Just a little bit in there. Once you got that side popped out, put your finger underneath. Let me see if I can do this. And I'm just pretty much pushing this one. You want to bring it from top side toward the front like this. You don't want to yank it from the front upward. Top to the front like this. The reason is on the front, they have this kind of hooks. This hook goes right on the bottom frame. So if you try to lift it up from the front upward, you're going to break all those uh, hooks right in here. Not focusing. This hooks right in here. All right. So you want to lift it up from the back towards the front. You can take the bottom one, bottom cover outside with a toothbrush, clean it up, and let it to the side. So down here we got this big, huge battery. It looks big, but I see that it says 52 watt hour. You can actually put a bigger battery size in here. I see an empty space in here. It's just a cover. So first thing first, we want to disconnect the battery. To disconnect the battery, we're going to remove a whole bunch of screws that touches the battery. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I see this battery is not all the way in. It's kind of, they didn't put it all the way in from manufacturer. It's kind of staying on there. So go ahead and remove all the screw that touches the battery. All right. Next, you want to lift up the battery from the connector side upward, just from here, bring it up and remove it. And you see why I said there's a bigger battery size? They just try to trick you guys with the harness. All this space is empty. The battery is pretty much small right in here. There's a higher capacity that will fill the rest of the space in here. And that's what I'm saying. Like this is a 52 watt hour. And there's a bigger version you can find and replace it too. You don't need to disconnect the CMOS battery. You don't need to. The CMOS will keep the configuration for the BIOS. If you do disconnect it, nothing will happen when you power on. It will take up to 15, 20 seconds to power off. So don't touch that one. Leave it the way it is. Right over here, we can see a CPU right here, and there's a GPU right in there, and the fan system. And this whole space, they could have been filled with a air vent, air heatsink, but I guess they don't. They just want to leave it up to here. Anyway, so let's go ahead and first disconnect the fan cable. You don't want to yank on this cable. Absolutely, you don't want to do that because these cables are really fragile. You want to put the tweezers on the side of this jack, and then you want to gently slide it backward towards the fan, right? Next, we want to remove one screw that touches the fan. The screw has a C-lock, and we want to unscrew the screws on the heatsink and two on the GPU, on the CPU and two on the GPU. And if the screw is really hot, push down really hard and do a tiny turn, and it just makes a little pop sound, like a click sound. All right, once we remove all those, don't grab it from here, grab it near the CPU and GPU and bring it upward. And you're gonna bring that old thermal paste seal. And there we have it. There's a GPU and there's your CPU. And there's these thermal pads in here. These are 1 millimeter thermal pads. You can buy a 1 millimeter thermal pad sheet and you can replace them, but these are really good still. No need to replace them. All right, so let's put that to one side. You can take it outside again, blow some air, clean the dust. Here, first, let's go ahead and see. We need to clean up the fan system is pretty easy. You just want to grab the toothbrush and just wipe it like this gently and clean it up. If you do want to remove the fan and clean it up, there's a little sensor cable goes all around it and the tiny screws over. To remove these tiny screws, you want to switch back to Phillips 00 and remove these tiny screws on top. You don't need to tighten up too much. All right, we need to remove this gaffer's tape in here. It's pretty dry in there, so I'm just gonna cut it out, I guess. Let's see if I can lift it up from here. There we go. Remove this gaffer's tape. There we go. We're gonna separate There. Once you lift it up, be careful with the cable that goes to one side. It goes and gets soldered on the heatsink for a temperature control, which is right there. So you don't want to yank on this cable. So as much as you can, just bring it out to one side like this, and you have access from the to the heatsink right there. If you guys can see it, you can use that toothbrush, just pretty much clean up the air vent. Sometimes you will get a lots of dust accumulated right in there, like big huge chunks. So this way you can actually use a Q-tip or you use a toothbrush and just clean it up so you don't have to desolder the sensor. Once you clean it up, just pretty much put the fan back on, be gentle with it, and put the tiny screws back over. The gaffer's tape is not a must. You don't need to put the gaffer's tape there. It's still gonna work perfectly fine. You don't have to. But if you want to be really nifty about it, you can go and purchase a gaffer's tape and put it over on the wherever you removed it. That is absolutely not necessary. The airflow is still gonna be good. It's still gonna work the same. We have tested it before with zero issues. Right? So you don't have to actually put a gaffer's tape in there. Instead of gaffer's tape, you can put a Kapton tape if you want. It's the same. All right, to clean up the old thermal paste, grab a little bit of the workshop towel, soak it in an alcohol, and you want to put two fingers at the back of the, or three fingers at the back of the heatsink, and then you want to wipe the excess first, like that. You want to do the same thing on the CPU. Go round and round and wipe the whole CPU. All you care about is the CPU crystal die and the GPU crystal die. You don't worry about the components around it. If there's a thermal paste on them, nothing will happen. If you look around, look how this one goes around, it's just pretty much coming out, ripping apart, but it will prevent the damage on the CPU, on the GPU, I mean. You can put a little alcohol on top, use a toothbrush to clean in between the components, and do a gentle pass on top. And then you just want to grab one corner and just concentrate on the crystal, polish that crystal, make sure it's nice and clean. And there we have it. Grab the heatsink, do a dry pass on this one. Next, you want to grab the heatsink, the thermal paste. You want to put one drop on the PCH chip, which is beside the CPU, and then one line on the CPU, and one drop on the GPU, like that. Once you have that one in there, now you want to grab the heatsink, bring it down, align the screw holes, make sure they are nicely aligned, and drop it down. There's a tiny, there should be numbers on them, but I don't see the number. There's a number 5, 6, but this one doesn't have a number. Just cross screw them always. I always recommend you go, always cross screw them. That way the thermal paste will spread evenly. So go on this side, one in there, and there, and like that. Then do the GPU, and the one screw for the fan right in the corner. Then you want to grab the jack for the fan connector and align it, and then push it, slide it, make sure it aligns in, and slide it into the connector. All right. Once we're done with those, double check, make sure everything is nice and seated down. Grab the battery, align the battery screw holes in here first, and then drop it down, and it will go to its place. Then put the screws for the battery. Just a reminder, once you put the new thermal paste and you power it on and don't put any heavy load or anything like that. Just let it sit there for 10-15 minutes. After 10-15 minutes, you want to power it off, wait for 5 minutes, and then power it on as you wish. The reason we do that is because the thermal paste is still need to be squished accordingly. whenever the CPU heats up, it's going to blend that thermal paste even a little more, and it's going to cover up more space. So that's why I'm saying don't stress it right away. It's like pretty much doing your oil change. You want to just let it sit there for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, let it heat up the heat sink, everything, and then power it off, let it cool down, then power it on and use it as you wish. All right, to finish it off, grab the bottom cover. First, you want to bring it in 45-degree angle, the front, put it in 45-degree in the front chest, front end down, and bring it down the back and squeeze every corner. You want to hear those big click sounds. And to finish it off is to put the bottom screw and tighten them up. Again, I hope you guys like this video and helped you guys out. If you have any question or requests, feel free to leave them in a video comment. I'll try to answer them as soon as I can. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Just gonna finish up putting up the bottom screws.